So you're probably running, not walking to the waiver wire this week, maybe with a little bit of panic after week one. So let's take a look at your 5 top free agents to add this week.
Yeah, I've got 5 guys I do want to talk about, but I've got a lot more on fantasyvictory.com. So I encourage you to go to fantasyvictory.com, and you're going to see a much longer list. These are my top 5 based on guys that are generally available, but every league's different. So again, go to fantasyvictory.com, look at the full list, see who's available in your league. And let me mention this just as a week 1 philosophy, Mike. I really believe that you want to be especially aggressive in week 1 because there's so much more that we know just given 1 week of real live action than what we thought we knew in the preseason. And, you know, if you'd have been aggressive in week 1 of last year, you got guys like Julius Thomas. I think you want to be aggressive here. If you're using a free agent waiver wire bidding system, I think you spend more this week than probably any other week of the year. Go get guys that can help you when you now know a little bit more.
In week 1, we really answered a lot of running back questions, running back by committee questions to figure out who's going to be the bell cow, who's going to be the touchdown vultures.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go to our first guy. First free agent to add is Justin Forsett. Justin Forsett is, I believe, the primary beneficiary from all the craziness that has happened in the Baltimore running game. You got the whole Ray Rice situation, and just setting that aside for a minute, Bernard Pierce looked bad again last week, averaged 2.5 yards a carry, and then Justin Forsett came in and got a lot more usage, and he averaged 6.5 yards a carry. He got twice as many carries and twice as many yards per carry. Justin Forsett, he's a small guy, so I don't think he's really built for goal line use, and I don't think he's ever going to be like a bell cow, 25 carry a game guy, but I think he becomes the lead back here in taking the role that at a minimum Ray Rice had last year in a timeshare. But even more than that, I think he becomes the lead player. So I think he's available in virtually every league in America, and I think he's somebody that you can spend a lot of money on. And I've got specific dollar advice for all of these players at fantasyvictory.com.
If you've been on fantasyvictory.com or you've been watching Fantasy Victory now, this is a guy that shouldn't be available in your league, but Markus Wheaton.
Markus Wheaton, guy I've been talking about all preseason, and he showed up with a big game in week 1. This is the Steelers' number 2 wide receiver, Markus Wheaton, and there's still an offense that does pass a lot through Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, and Antonio Brown always pulls the best defenders to his side. So Markus Wheaton's going to be open a lot. He's fast. Week 1, almost 100 yards, and this is a great opportunity to pick up a guy that is going to be somebody who can help you out almost every week for the Steelers.
And Ben Tate in Cleveland finally got that running back number 1 job. And as we all probably predicted, Ben Tate got injured.
Shocking, Ben Tate injured. He did. Why wait until the traditional Ben Tate time of around Halloween when you can get that injury out of the way now? Thank you, Ben Tate. Once he left the game, Terrance West got the vast majority of the carries. And even before Ben Tate left, Terrance West had been the change of pace back. Then when Tate got knocked out, Terrance West got the vast majority of the work, 16 carries, and he averaged 6 yards a carry. I thought Terrance West looked good. Didn't look overwhelming, but I thought he looked good. And this is still a running back situation that could still shake out a lot of different directions. New coaching staff, they went and drafted Terrance West. They moved up in the 3rd round to go get Terrance West. They obviously like the kid. So he's a guy that I believe belongs on rosters. He may already be taken in your league, but if not, he's somebody you could certainly go get.
But what about Isaiah Crowell? He went out and got himself 2 touchdowns.
So, all right, let's transition to the other Browns running back, Isaiah Crowell. He's the undrafted rookie with a super troubled history, a lot of different run-ins and a lot of different problems. And because of that, nobody drafted him. Browns brought him in. He's kept his nose clean, and I thought he actually looked better than Terrance West. He ran harder than West did. He is a big load who is fast, and he's the one who scored the touchdowns. And so, he only got the 5 carries, though. That worries me. Terrance West got 16. That part concerns me a little bit, but he looked better on his carries, I thought. And Crowell also is a guy that I think's worthy of a spot on rosters, and he's a good flyer.
Kendall Wright, Justin Hunter, Delaney Walker, the Tennessee Titans seem to be the team of sleeper receivers.
Yeah.
And so we're just waiting for Jake Locker to pan out. Looks like he did in week 1.
He did pan out in week 1, and liked him in week 1. Thought he'd have a good game, and he did. Threw into the high 200s, couple of touchdowns, no interceptions for Jake Locker. And now he gets the Cowboys. So, now all of my expectations get ratcheted up. He has scored multiple touchdowns in 7 of his last 8 full games. Jake Locker's been a quality fantasy producer. Quietly, his receivers are all better this year than they've ever been in the course of his career, and he's got Ken Whisenhunt guiding the ship. Ken Whisenhunt is a great quarterback coach, so there's a lot to like about Jake Locker. this week especially, but going forward, he is absolutely a guy that can be a very good second quarterback on your roster.
So there you go. Don't waste your waiver claims. Use them wisely. Those are your 5 top guys this week. As Paul said, there are 11 guys to add this week at fantasyvictory.com and 6 that you probably want to get off your roster.